What's going on? My name is Bim, and this is the VIP demo for Anthem. Alright, last weekend we got together, my friends and I, we played a little bit of Anthem. I'm one of those guys who, when Mass Effect Andromeda was announced, I was one of those pre-orderers because I had a lot of faith in BioWare. I love Mass Effect. It's probably my top 3 favorite franchises ever. Really up there. So when Andromeda came out, dropped the pre-order as soon as I could. Got the digital deluxe. Don't ever do that again. I'll never do that again. Gave me like weapon. Well, I guess it's fair. It gives you weapons that are good for early game. I guess that's fair. I think Andromeda is a game that gets a little too much hate than it deserves. It wasn't completely terrible. It's a good game with a lot of mistakes. That made a lot of mistakes. I do feel it was unacceptable for it to launch in the state that it did. I do feel that it was unacceptable to actually. No, to say that it launched the way that it did and it got better over time isn't exactly true. It did get improvements, but it's still in a state that is sort of unacceptable. For a AAA title, for the amount of money that they're asking for, it's just not at that level. But it's still, at the very core of it, a pretty decent game. Just not the second coming of the devil. Wait, is he second coming? Was he here before? So when BioWare announced Anthem, you'd think that I would have a bit of be a little more pensive about it, a bit more cautious because I'd already gotten burned. But I'm a BioWare shell, so I went ahead and plopped the money, pre-ordered. I didn't pre-order right away. I probably gave it a couple months before I dropped the money, just to see some of the media cover it, right, and to see if it would be worth my time. So as more and more of the media picked up on it, the more I felt like, okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot. So I pre-ordered, got into the demo. Here's what I think. They really need to fix their servers, especially for the public demo next weekend. That's going to be open to everybody. So this private demo was only open to pre-orderers, everyone who pre-ordered, and 3 of their buddies. And those on like the premium Origin subscription service, like I forget what it's called. Origin and EA Premium or something. So if you're on those services, you get into the VIP. So they kind of knew how many people would be playing. They have an idea. They have an idea of how many pre-orders there were. Multiply that by 3, and you have an idea of how many EA subscribers you've got. So right? Imagine, and they knew that they were going to turn on the servers on all at once. There was a timetable and everything. It was 1 a.m. here, and I stayed up to watch that, to log in. Not to watch. Well, I ended up watching because no one could get in. No one could get in. No one logged in. Origin even went down for a few minutes upon them switching those servers on. So that's a big issue that they need to solve by the time the public demo goes live. February 1. I'm assuming 1 a.m. Philippine time. I was met with infinite loading screens, which had a fairly easy workaround. You close your game, you go back in, and you just relaunch the same instance. Still not a great experience, but I was expecting there to be issues, but I didn't expect it to be this bad. They've had experience with multiplayer games before, so I imagine they would know what to do. But yeah, they just need to address that and the infinite loading screens. But that said, when you're able to get when we were able to get past all those hurdles and we were able to get into a game together, it is a blast and a half. It is a hoot. The thing is, the draw for Andromeda is very different from the draw of Mass Effect. With Mass Effect, Anthem does have a story, but how good that story is, we don't know yet. But even if it's the best story in the world, it isn't going to be the main draw of the game. So with Mass Effect, the main pleasure that you get is knowing how the story resolved at the end, how your decisions throughout the trilogy made an impact on the universe, or your universe. It was actually really your universe because you kind of controlled some parts of it, and how the lives of your crew were affected by your decisions. So that's why people keep coming back to Mass Effect, because of all the variations on the story that you could create throughout the trilogy. That's not why people are going to be coming back to Anthem. Anthem is a lot like the Mass Effect multiplayer, where the draw is being able to get better gear to be able to complete bigger challenges and higher difficulties to get even better gear. So that's pretty much the gameplay loop. So with Mass Effect Andromeda and Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and I don't know if ME3 is the first loot box game that EA fell in love with. I don't know if that's where their love affair started with loot boxes, but it's one of the earlier ones. So you would start off with default classes. You had 6, I think, the human classes, and as you played the game, you got currency that you would use to buy loot boxes of different tiers. So the most basic one would just give you consumables, I think, like health packs and that kind of thing. So I've been sick. The higher you go, the more expensive the loot boxes got, the better the chances of you getting a new character or better gear, better weapons, that kind of thing. And when it comes to cosmetics, so you have a character and you level up to level 20, but you have to unlock that character again and again and again through the loot box system to be able to get more, to be able to color the armor of your character more. So it's definitely not as extensive as the character customization on Anthem, which is really good. I don't know how they're going to be monetizing that. Like, our color is going to be locked behind coins. Our color is going to be locked behind shards. I don't know, but the customization on Anthem is just miles better than Mass Effect. So with Anthem, it's a similar thing. So instead of getting loot boxes, you get drops in the world, and as you get more and more of those drops, the better your character becomes, and the higher your chances of completing higher difficulties become or get. And as you do higher difficulties, the higher the rarity of the items would be dropping, which means you get stronger, and that means you could tackle even higher difficulties. So that's the gameplay loop. So it's sort of like the way they do Diablo, where there's tiers of difficulty that you could go. With Anthem, there's 6. There's easy, normal, hard, Grandmaster 1, 2, 3. So in Grandmaster 3, the scaling is up to 3,100% of enemy damage and enemy life. So that means to be able to tackle Grandmaster 3, you would need at least 3,100 times your base form, I'm guessing. So that's where the loop comes in. That's where the draw of the game comes in. So the better you do, the more loot you get. The better loot you get, the stronger your javelin becomes, the better your chances of completing higher difficulties. Rinse and repeat until you get as strong as you can get. With Mass Effect multiplayer, there was a manifest that you could complete, and then once you've unlocked all of those, you kind of stop unlocking things. So it was finite. It took you a long time to complete, but it was finite. Anthem doesn't seem to have that kind of restriction, so as long as they keep adding new content, as long as they keep adding new strikes, as they say in the Destiny world, you will have something to do, something to strive for. The thing is, I'm really super excited about Anthem. I am looking forward to it. Like, I do think it is a promising game, but I don't know why I think that, because I got sick of the Division and I got sick of Destiny, because I felt the gameplay loops for those games were repetitive grinds, and I'm guessing this isn't any different. I mean, it's designed as a looter shooter. They're all looter shooters, but I don't know. I'm giving it a chance. So yeah, come to the public beta, the public demo. I keep calling it beta because it's so fucking broken. But come the public demo. I'm hoping I see you guys there. I hope they fix out and iron out all the bugs. I do think that this game can be Mass Effect's savior versus what people think as Mass Effect's destroyer. If Anthem ends up doing well, we know that it could save BioWare, and in turn maybe an Anthem game is somewhere in the horizon. We don't know, right? But I hope Anthem does really well, if anything, just to save BioWare. Alright, thank you guys for watching. My throat is killing me. So, if you're still here and you've been listening to me ramble for the last 10 minutes, please do leave a like. It helps us out. Please subscribe. I used to be one of those. I am one of those channels that got demonetized when they imposed those new rules. So it would help me out if you drop a subscribe. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.